Alrighty, welcome back to Sleep Racing, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we're going to be working on the go-kart, getting it ready for the Nate Sevals Memorial Race up in Rice Lake, Wisconsin here, October 6th and 7th.
Got that? Shut up.
I believe. Going to be fun. A lot of karts usually show up, so it's a good turnout for everybody up there, and payout's relatively good. So, we're just going to work on that, get it ready to go. We're going to clean up the spindle bearings, the clutch, the axle bearings. We got it all washed. I took all that off, washed it up, and then figured I wasn't going to bore you guys with that. We'll get to it here. So what I got here now is my front bearings and my rear bearings. I've already taken the dust caps off of these ones, off the fronts, because I was uploading videos, but I have a bucket full of mineral spirits, and I just swirl them around a little bit, put them in there, let that sit for a little while, and I'll take the rears apart, and then we'll switch these ones over. We'll blow them out good, and then we'll put them in this bucket here, has some acetone in it. We'll put that in there, swirl that around a little bit. That'll get rid of any residue that the mineral spirits left behind. And then blow that out real good, and then we'll relube them and send them back in. These ones here have the metal dust shield on first. You just kind of keep working that around, and eventually it'll pop off of there. Just like that. You can take your seals out, but then you can clean out the debris and all that kind of stuff with some mineral spirits, some acetone. I started doing this a little while ago, and I don't know if it really necessarily helps, but they do still spin relatively freely, and I don't know, it just seems to work a little bit better. As you see, like this one here has some lube still in it, and it's a little stiff, where this one here just free spools for a long time. So, I don't know. Monkey see, monkey do.
Drive, monkey, drive!
I think really, I think as long as the bearings are spinning, relatively freely, and you have no rolling resistance against them, essentially. No friction, I should say. However you maintain them is good. Like I said, I just started taking these all apart this year. That's my opinion. Why don't you guys let me know in the comments how you guys take care of your bearings on your go-kart. Alrighty, everybody. So, day number 2 of working on the go-kart. I used the Blackmagic app, and I got to work on that a little bit more.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
For the camera settings. So I don't know how good the footage is. I know the second race, or the second race day out to Thunder Hill, it wasn't good when I used it, but I got to work on that. It's a really cool camera feature. Just need to fine tune it in. But I'm back to the GoPro today, so yeah. So we are working on this still, and we got the bearings all washed up, cleaned, pre-spinning. Everything works rather well. Axle super free. Now we're going to work on the clutch. I'm gonna take it all apart again, just to look at the discs a little closer and all the pressure plates. I put all that new in before the last race. I'm hoping that it's still good. The pressure plates are getting wore out on it. They were really warped. I'm just trying to get it through the last few races here, and then I'll go through everything over the winter and get everything ready to go. That's what we're gonna do now.
Once you cross this world and into that unconscious state, you will vividly be present in everything you see. Closer and closer you go.
Alright, so I recorded the whole other section in time lapse again. because I didn't hit the right button. What I said was these, you can tell that the pad was slipping a little bit on it. It's got little specks on it, and you can, that usually means that it's slipping there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly scuff them up with some emery cloth. Not ideal. That's probably not what you're supposed to do. I am just trying to get this clutch through one more race weekend, and then I will buy a new one or have this one refurbished. Right way to do it is to make sure that this is flat again, and then they mill it, or they do whatever they do. I don't really know. So, but right now I'm just gonna slightly scuff them up and go from there. I just dipped it in my bucket of acetone, all the components, blew them all out. Everything seems clean, dry, ready to go back together. I felt like my tolerances were a little tight, so they actually have these little shims inside here. So I'm gonna add two brass ones, just to get that gap up a little bit. They say, I think it's 50 thousandths max, 45 or 50 thousandths, according to the bully. I'm gonna try to be in that 40 thousandths mark. They come new from like 30 to 35 thousand. I liked it a little bit more gap. It hits a little harder when it does engage, and I'm hoping that'll take away some of the slip issues, or help take some of that out. We're going to a pretty small bull ring this weekend. So we're going to be putting a 12-tooth driver on in our basket. That's what we're going to do. All right, so now we have all of that in. I just have a little bit of tension on the springs just to tighten all this up so that I can check my clearances, my gap in that with a feeler gauge. And we are really close to 40 thousandths on the feeler gauge, so that's where I'm going to leave that. Now, we got to check our spring heights. This is the spring height gauge by Bully. It comes with this little standard zero gauge. So you're going to zero it on this first, and then you can just put it over that, and you can bring your springs right to where you want them according to the book. I'm going to go to a 2.25 is what I'm going to run. So that's pretty much right on zero. And now this spins around, and it'll be 0.2. That's your first number, is how many times that one spins around. And then we're gonna go to 2.25, so we gotta go to 2 and then the 5 halfway in between there. And you always want to end on a tighten, so make sure that you're tightening it when you get there. If you go past a little bit and you have to back it off, then make sure you go back tight again. See, now we went past. So I'm gonna loosen it up and then tighten it. .25, just like that. We're gonna continue that all the way around, and we will be back with you guys. We have all the springs tightened up, checked with our gauge. We'll set that off to the side. Everything seems to be okay on it. I'm happy with it. So, set that one off to the side. Now we have to take the snap ring out of the center of this, and because we have to put a 12-tooth driver in. So, the other thing that I do at this point in time is I check the markings on the basket where these touch the basket. If you get too big of dimples in there or into it, what happens is that it'll lift the discs up off of the pressure plates. So you want to make sure that these are always smooth. If they're not smooth, I just take a file and file them down, and then seems to work. So just like that, you put the snap ring back in, and it's all good to go. Now, that part number is the 12 tooth with the bearing in it. Most 12 tooths have a bushing, but this one has a bearing. So if you guys are going for a 12 tooth, I would highly recommend getting the bearing one, not the bushing one. That's it. We're gonna put this back together. Then we will probably jump over and we'll grind up some tires and wrap them and get those ready to go.
You ain't never seen nothing like this. Never thought it'd be so enticing. Oh, it'll pull you in with a tight grip. Shines like a diamond, bright when the light hits. Oh, shifting your senses, lifting you up to a different dimension.